I initially moved here from the big city of Atlanta, Georgia, via the military. So yes, I am a Army veteran. And I came here by force, and like some people, I had all these myths and doubts and disbeliefs and did not want to come for reasons such as it's too hot, maybe the people are going to be racist, maybe there's no diversity, it's a Bible Belt state, which is interesting because I'm very religious. However, I didn't want the Bible shoved down my throat against my own will, if you will. So, moving forward, after I got out the military, I still chose to stay here. I left, went to Colorado, came back here again. Why? Because it was cold in Colorado. But aside from there, a part of me felt like Columbia was safe. It was a really good place to start over, if you will. I was just going through a divorce. I have a daughter. At that time, she was no more than 7, 8 years old. So I really felt like this was a good place to call home as a transition period. To me, initially when I moved back, it was Sumter, okay? Still South Carolina, but a smaller town, Air Force community, Army as well. But when I went back there, I wanted a place where I can raise my daughter without lots of crime in your face, lots of traffic, lots of outside influences. I felt like being in South Carolina, it would be a lot more controllable as compared to major cities. And I was correct. I can honestly say I did not experience anything, like nothing at all. I stayed at home for a lot of the time, just, healing, going through divorce is kind of what you do. But when I actually finally did get into going outside, it was great. Walked around in my community all the time. I chose to live downtown Sumter, so right on the same street as the hospital. My community was really, really great. I was the youngest person, and at that time, there was maybe about 3 other people that were black on that street. And I mentioned that because I know that matters to some people. And at that time, it truly didn't matter to me. But as time went on, somehow, some reason, I began to think about those things. And even as I thought about those things, it was not a problem. Still, it wasn't. My neighbors were phenomenal, just phenomenal people. They were a lesbian couple, which I mentioned that because I know that matters to some people too, as far as how open are they to the LGBTQ community. Very open. My neighbors did not experience anything that they shared with me at all. And next to them was another couple who had moved there from Italy. So it had a lot of diversity going on, from a black couple to a black single mom to a lesbian couple to foreigners. Lots of variety, and everybody got along just fine. Of course, you had your regular transplants there, and they too got along just fine. So I experienced nothing, just warm, welcoming community. Matter of fact, my neighbor is the one who gave me a job back into the, real world after my divorce. Funny thing is, I came to a point where I was ready to move again because I'm like, this is a small town. I want to try something different, ready to move, and I moved to Indiana. I get there, and as we would have it was cold, very, very, very cold, and I was ready to go back. Now this time, because now I'm in a better place financially, mentally, spiritually, as a mom, my daughter is older. The world was my oyster, if you will. I can go anywhere I wanted to. And, God said, write it down, make it plain. Okay, so me and my daughter, we sit down and we made out a pros and cons of where to live. And Columbia, South Carolina was on that list. Why? Because it was where we had been the past 6 years. So where our family and friends were, along with the benefits that the state offered. So being a veteran, 100% disabled veteran, the state offers a lot of good benefits, like no property taxes, 0 property taxes on your houses that you own, as well as 2 vehicles. So I have a vehicle, my daughter has a vehicle, okay? So that's going to save money. And I am a homeowner, and I plan to continue to be a homeowner. So with that being said, factoring in how much property taxes I'm going to pay, yeah, it was definitely number one. Now, the biggest thing for me was, hey, my daughter is getting ready to go into college. I need to make sure that is paid for, and we don't have anything to worry about as far as going into debt, and as far as her taking out student loans. I didn't want that. So South Carolina is another one of those states again that if you are 100% disabled, then your dependents as well as yourself can go to school for free. So it's only about 11 to 12 states out of the 50 that actually gives you that, that benefit. So as we begin to narrow these things down, South Carolina just became like that more of a no-brainer, if you will. It's just like, oh, okay, well, so it made more sense to move here to Columbia, South Carolina. We love to travel as well, so knowing that we had a national airport, that we did not have to be at the airport 2-3 hours ahead of time like we did in Atlanta also was a winning situation. Now, when you factor in things like, okay, Charlotte is roughly an hour and a half north. You also have DC 5.5, 6 hours north. You can go to Atlanta to visit if you would like. You can go up to Greenville, South Carolina. You can go up to Charleston, Savannah. Like, you had all these beautiful dream locations that you can go to in just a day's trip. I mean, let me not forget, you can also go to Asheville, North Carolina. You can go to Gatlinburg. You can go hiking. Like, when you factor in all those things, it just kind of made sense. And if you're looking at it from a financial standpoint, it made a lot more sense because you're not spending more for like hotels and all this other stuff. And our gas was cheaper here. So when we factored in all those things, it just made sense for us to move to Columbia, South Carolina. Now that we're here, how is it? We love it. It's perfect for us. The weather is, now, let me tell you the truth. It is hot. It can get pretty hot in the summer. I am not a person who enjoys extreme cold or extreme hot. I think it's hot, but at the same time, I also need for it to be hot for me to get in somebody's water. So I like it because when we do have beach days or even lake days going out to Lake Murray, the water is a really good temperature for me to get in, which makes a huge difference because if it's not at least 95 degrees, 100 degrees outside, I am not getting in that water. So perfect for me. My daughter absolutely loves it. She's a runner, so she says the weather is perfect for her to run. Now, because I do enjoy working out, the weather is always great because you can go in the morning and you have that nice cool morning breeze. You can go in the evening, get you a nice sweat. You can go at night where the sun is still shining, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you can still enjoy that. At no point have I ever went outside and I'm the only person out there, which is great because it speaks to the community part of Columbia. There's always somebody out there enjoying what God has created, enjoying that beautiful weather. So we love it. We love it. As we narrow our search down for college, it's plenty of options. You have Charleston Medical School, you have USC right here in Columbia, you have Midlands Technical College, you have so many. It's just too many to name, honestly. So it really just kind of depends on what you are looking for, what your family needs, and how you want to make Columbia your home. There is something here for everybody. Lots of diversity, lots of job opportunities. You have lots of things to do, and it's not congested, which is amazing. It's just not congested. Moving from Atlanta or even Colorado, where it can be congested. It's lots of traffic. Of course, there's pollution. You have lots of people. You have a lot of outside influences for all the latest trends. And if you are a parent like myself, then no parent wants their child just constantly influenced by these outside, factors that you have no control over. And it's not saying that you can control the factors here in Columbia because you can't control anything anywhere. It doesn't work like that. But if you can limit the exposure, then why not? Why not? We love it here. My daughter goes to one of the top rated schools in Columbia. It's a D1 high school. She runs track. She done made it to indoor nationals. We'll make it to outdoor nationals, and we credit a lot of it to the environment, the children. They've been very friendly. The teachers are very friendly. The programs are very robust and good. So those myths like, oh, if you're in the South, the education is so bad. No. The education can be bad anywhere if you don't apply yourself. That's just life. the crime can be bad anywhere depending on where you live. In any city, any state, any country, you go to the wrong area, the crime is going to be more prevalent as opposed to another location. What I've learned is life is truly what you make it. Being that I'm prior military, I lived in many countries, many states, many places. And I can really say, after being able to choose where I wanted to go on my own, I chose Columbia. After comparing all my factors, I chose it. I'm not extremely extroverted and I'm not extremely introverted, but any day I choose to be either or, I know where to go. I know how to make that happen. Whether I'm going to church, whether I'm going to a coffee shop, where I'm going downtown to hang out, whether I'm sitting here outdoors in a beautiful environment, or whether I'm at home in my own space, in a home that I purchased that I can afford, where my taxes aren't extremely high. You got choices, and the choice is yours. So that's just some of the reasons why we chose Columbia, South Carolina. If you would like to know anything else, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to let you know.